Welcome to Veteran Perspectives. Normally, I don't put out multiple podcast videos in a week, but we're going to continue our conversation about the Epstein files because we need to. And today, we're going to talk about some more messed up stuff because we need to. Yesterday, we talked about the perceived government cover-up, what I believe is a government cover-up of the Epstein files as a whole. And I have continued my own personal digging, my own personal research into the files released on January 30th by the Department of Justice, redacted to all hell by the Department of Justice and the FBI. And I have found something that every parent needs to know about in this country and around the world. We're not talking about islands and private jets anymore. Okay, we're not talking about these big things. We're talking about your kid's school picture day. Yeah. If your child brought home a Smile Safe card or a Lifetouch photo packet this year or any year, pay attention to the names that I'm about to say. Because while the government is busy redacting files to protect privacy, okay, they're leaving the back door wide open to your child's data. Okay? But let's follow the money because the money never lies. Okay. Now, when I talk about protecting privacy, I don't mean protecting the privacy of the victims because their privacy should be protected. Okay. And it wasn't. And I believe the government on purpose released their names, released their photos to intimidate them. They want to protect the rich and the powerful. So let's follow the money. Lifetouch is owned by Shutterfly. Okay. Shutterfly is owned by a private equity giant called Apollo Global Management. Okay. And until very recently, the man at the top of Apollo was a billionaire named Leon Black. Now, why does the name Leon Black matter? Because the 2026 Epstein files, the one the DOJ, the Department of Justice, just tried to tell us are complete, confirmed that Leon Black paid Jeffrey Epstein over $158 million. $158 million for financial advice, quote unquote, from a man who wasn't a lawyer or an accountant, but was a convicted sex offender. Jeffrey Epstein. Okay. The Senate Finance Committee just released a report on February 4th, 2026, saying that number is actually closer to 170 million with fees and shit like that. Okay. And the documents show that Epstein wasn't just doing taxes here. Okay. He was advising Black on how to silence women with NDAs, non-disclosure agreements, and how to use private investigators to stalk people, something that Jeffrey Epstein is known to have done to his victims in the past. If you want to learn more about that, there's a Netflix documentary that came out. I believe his documentary came out. It's called Jeffrey Epstein, Filthy Rich. It came out in 2020. There's a whole segment, I believe it's on episode 2 or 3, where there are private investigators harassing victims and lawyers of the victims in the documentary. Crazy. So he has experience with this, known experience with this. So here's a question for every school board in America. Why is a company owned by a man who bankrolled a child predator allowed to have the names, faces, and home addresses of millions of our children? Now, I speak from experience as someone who worked in the education system for years, who handled Lifetouch documentation on picture day when kids had to hand the teachers documentation. We had to fill shit out, blah, 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 give it to the secretary, okay? Turn things in during picture day. It's a wham, bam, thank you, ma'am operation. Every school that you work at, it's rushed. Every picture day is rushed. Oh, here's the money. Here's the kids' addresses. Make sure they get in the yearbook, blah, blah, blah. Make sure they look pretty. Check their addresses. It's a database. It's a child database. February 11th, Lifetouch CEO, the current Lifetouch CEO, Ken Murphy, put out a statement trying to calm the storm. He said student images are safeguarded and that Apollo isn't involved in the day-to-day operations. He says Lifetouch itself isn't named in the files. He's doing damage control. That's fair and all and well and good. But here's what he isn't saying. We just found out that Epstein's own employees told the FBI that he used to have flowers delivered to students at local high schools. He was a scout. He was a predator who looked for biological data. Epstein is known to have been very much interested and into eugenics type study, biological type study to create the perfect human. And we're just supposed to trust that a massive database of student faces, the most valuable data for AI facial recognition in the world, is safe under the umbrella of one of Epstein's biggest financiers? It's one of the biggest checks that Epstein ever received. Now, let me give you some examples of some school districts and parents that aren't buying this shit. Parents in Clifton, New Jersey aren't buying it. Their school board is reviewing the contract right now. Districts in California and Texas, two of the biggest school districts in the country, are facing packed board meetings this week with parents demanding an immediate end of those contracts. In Arizona, where I live, our own state board for charter schools just met, and they're talking about operational frameworks. They're not talking about the fact that our kids' data is sitting in a vault controlled by the elite. My wife yesterday sent me a picture from Lifetouch of one of our daughters, and I said, delete that shit. Tell the school to get rid of it. We need to contact Lifetouch and tell them to remove it from their database. They did not return our calls. They did not return our calls. Sports teams are also contracted with Lifetouch. As someone who is a sports dad as well, as someone who is very in tune with AAU teams, because I'm a basketball dad, who do you contract to take pictures of your basketball teams? You better check. We've seen what happens when we trust the safeguards. The DOJ accidentally leaked the names of 100 survivors last week while perfectly protecting the names of billionaires. And I say accidentally, completely facetiously, because I believe they did it on purpose to intimidate the victims. That is the safeguard we're dealing with. Okay? You don't need to see your baby in a yearbook. It's not that important. Take a picture with your cell phone. Put it up in your house. Don't put it on social media. And I'm guilty of that too, because we love to share with the world. We love to share our kids with the world. We love our kids, right? But look who's out there. And it's your own fucking government. They're the ones hurting our kids. They're the ones that are attacking our babies. They're the ones trafficking our kids. And we're giving them the database to do it. As a dad, I'm done with the abundance of caution letters. I'm done with the corporate denials. If a company has a link to the Epstein network, no matter how many corporate lawyers they put in between, they shouldn't be within a mile of schools. Their contracts should be null and void. Period. Go to your school board. To the school board. Don't go talk to your secretary at the school. Don't go talk to the principal, because they're fucking worthless. Because y'all know how I feel about that. Okay, and if you don't, go watch my previous videos, read my previous blogs. Okay? Go directly to the school board, the elected officials. Remember, your school boards are elected. And demand. Say, hey, who owns our child's data in our schools? The pictures, the addresses. Ask them why they're still cutting checks to companies tied to Leon Black. Because if we don't protect our kids' privacy, no one else is going to do it for us. No one. The files are half hidden and redacted for a reason. And the reason is that the truth is a lot closer to home than they want you to believe. Make sure you like and subscribe for more of this bullshit, for more veteran perspectives, for more veteran issues, for more history. And if you just like hearing from me, thank you guys for listening.